So the next speaker is Mr. Dr. Ranjit Joshi. He's the director of HariSi Private Limited, Pune. I would now invite him to deliver the session.
Good evening, all. I'm Ranjit. I'm working with HariSi Private Limited from last 5 years. I am a technology partner with CSIR IMMT Bhubaneswar. But before going to Bhubaneswar, I had a lonely pathway to reach to a product where upon reaching there, I thought that it is good to approach CRTDH IMMT Bhubaneswar. Before telling the story of how I am associated with CRTDH, I will just briefly let you know about the product which we have launched recently 8 to 10 months back. So we are a team of two people. One is a marketing person, a chemical engineer from REC Warangal, and I am a PhD in polymer sciences and polymer chemistries. So 5 years back, we have started a journey to solve one of the crucial problems of metal pretreatment industries, that is pickling acid. Pickling acid is generated during the cleaning of the surfaces, that is the metals, in most of the galvanizing as well as electroplating industry. And these volumes which are generated during the metal treatment and pickling acid, these are rigorously huge, especially in the galvanizing industry. Galvanizing industry creates almost significant amounts of these hazardous waste, which are of the category of C, or red category, that Pollution Control Board refers. And dealing with this, so many big players such as either it is Bajaj or prominent names like Whirlpool or bigger domestic appliances manufacturer, they have a tendency to outsource these jobs to the smaller players, and these smaller players somehow mitigate these created hazardous waste to either they reinstate, they neutralize, and somehow mitigate on their own. But the problem is still very prominent and crucial, because even if the spillage happens at some part of during the carriage also, it can create infertile lands. There was a case which I was dealing with one person in near Pune. His person who was carrying that truck, he offloaded in the night at 3 o'clock and put it in some sewage water. It went to a canal, and there were six cattles were died. He was fined almost 75 lakhs for this. This is one of the really big problem. Unsolved, what we from industry people they say is as unmet need of the market. We have started working on it, how to resolve it. The basic commercial scene of this, there are primary industry segment which are working in the galvanizing area, and high-end user customers are catering into the electroplating industry. Electroplating industry, such as it also comes to even the Apples or the Samsung phones, they also pickle their surface when they first start their layer by layer deposition. The problem to resolve means to understand the problem, when metal goes inside the liquid, or when metal goes inside the acid, the metal is dissolved inside acid as it's metal chloride. Metal chloride has two ways of going it. When we consider, for example, if we consider iron, that iron goes as an ferrous chloride and ferric chloride. Ferrous chloride has a limited tendency, it can come out as an precipitate, and this precipitate is highly gelish. When this continuous pickling goes on, this gelishness starts increasing the viscosity of the liquid, and this becomes really difficult to filter this pickled acid. And there is a point of time when the pickler has to actually dispose it off. So what is the raw material that it has started from, it becomes a liability for him just after 4 to 6 weeks of time. So this liability, he has to dispose it of either on his own, or to a concerned authority who can neutralize it, or he has an infrastructure to mitigate it. The cost of the acid is 50 paisa to 250 paisa, and when he sends it off, he has to give that person 16 rupees per kg for that reason. So you can consider because it comes on his profit, uska profit kam ho jata hai, so he has a concern. Yes, and, before breaking this problem, as I was explaining you, the pH of the acid was very aggressive, and when the dissolved metal goes inside, it creates a gel, and this creates a compressible precipitate material, and it is difficult to mitigate using the filtration technique, and that's the reason it has to dispose of. What we have given is a solution by means of which the product we call as regolith. Regolith, the product which I just said, we have launched some 8 to 10 months back. And this product, what it does, at the low pH of 1 to 3 pH, it starts going into a cycle of dissolution and precipitation on its own. तो जब डिजॉल्व होता है, तो जब रीअपियर होने के वक्त वो पूरा का पूरा जो कोलाइडल मटेरियल है उसमें जो फेरस आयन है वो उसको साथ लेके डिपॉजिट होता है. सो इट्स अ सॉर्ट ऑफ अग्लोमरेशन इट जनरेट्स. इसको ओस्टवाल्ड राइपनिंग कहते हैं, जो व्हाट वी कॉल इज ओस्टवाल्ड राइपनिंग इन साइंटिफिक टर्म. दिस ओस्टवाल्ड राइपनिंग व्हाट इट डज, लेयर बाय लेयर इट क्रिएट्स एन छोटा सा पार्टिकल बनाता है. इट स्टार्ट्स ग्रोइंग ऑन इट्स ओन जस्ट बाय प्रेसिपिटेशन मेथड, and after agglomeration it creates and precipitate which is good enough to filter it off, so that whatever the iron is coming and getting deposited on the ripened particle, this can be easily removed off. That is the idea. Why this is helping? As I told you that this regolith goes inside the dissolution and precipitation cycle. After a dissolution and precipitation cycle, it can marry with these ferrous ions. Generally ferrous ions has a tendency, means the kinetics of transformation of ferrous ion to ferric ion is almost in 5 to 6 minutes it converted to ferrous to ferric. But when it comes to regolith, when it comes in contact with regolith, the regolith stops this kinetics and it gives us time of 30 to 35 minutes. तो वो जो रिएक्शन है उसका वो कर्टेल हो जाता है. उसके दौरान what is the regeneration? Because if Fe is not converted to FeCl3, that means we have stopped 3 hydrochloric acid for getting consumption. So ये जो change stop हुआ है, that is our benefit. So how it works? This is a pickling tank, simple pickling tank. It can range from 1,000 liter to almost to 50,000 liters at different sites depending on the customers. What we offer is a regolith plus Alex, that is we call acid life extended filtration setup. So Alex and regolith, we sell it together. We tell them to use a diaphragm pump, back filter, one stack filter, and we try to regulate the process. And finally, you can see here at this point, we can see clearly a nice green liquid that we see. So how this works? Regolith goes inside, as I told, and it bundles out all the iron. So you can see the changes. The center one is the starting acid. The left one is spent acid, which is completely blackish and viscous liquid, which is having a very high specific gravity. And if we use the Alex process, on the right you can see a green liquid. And now we have been able to, and we have been successful in continuously using this Alex system for 3 months to 6 months of time. Our ambitious goal is to make it to 3 years. 3 साल आप एक ही एसिड यूज करो. उसमें करना क्या है, तो आपको रिगोलिथ डालना है. यूज रिगोलिथ, डू फिल्ट्रेशन एंड टॉप अप. जो आपका जो लॉस आ रहा है, जिससे वो ड्रैग बोलते हैं, व्हेन दे डिप दी, if they are dipping the metal, if it is going next phase, then there is an hydrochloric acid loss, and when this loss is there, they have to just top it. और ये लॉस जनरली 8% होता है, तो 8% एसिड आपको हर बार उसमें टॉप अप करना है. दिस गिव्स अ न्यू pH रेंज फॉर गेटिंग द गुड एसिडिटी फॉर द नेक्स्ट पिकलिंग. Now, as of now, this industry was giving out huge amounts of spent pickling acid as a liquid, highly viscous liquid. उसका वेट भी ज़्यादा होता था. So first time this industry has saw that using this Alex process, they can incinerate these type of earthen-like or soil-like soilish matter, which can be disposed of, and they are quite happy with this. Nevertheless, it must be noted that when this acid is green, so a technical person will understand there is a lot of ferric chloride which is associated with it. There are some results which which are interesting to see. So generally there are 4 weeks of time cycle. 4 week में ये throw off करते थे. So what currently the status is, earlier it used to reach 120 grams per liter. Now it is 30 to 60 grams per liter they are happy with, and they can use it again and again and again. So whatever the benefit that we have provided using Alex regolith is we have made them near zero SPA discharge, which is also as good as saying ZLD. We have reduced the maintenance cost. We have reduced the regulatory concerns, and the way of handling the Alex process, even the 10th pass person or very less education person can handle this. Now the road towards CRTDH went from here, because as I told you that green liquid was having a lot of dissolved iron. So this dissolved iron was a concern for us, how to get rid of it. So dissolved iron is the crux of the total problem, because if we retain that dissolved iron for a longer period of time, it can start piling it up, and whatever the next pickling is going to get, it is going to affect the next processes. So we want to get rid of it somehow. So overall, in this interaction with CSI or IMMT, I think we have created a new avenue which was not there in the market. MOF, there is no manufacturer as such for MOF, but MOF are used heavily and imported heavily by companies like Reliance. They use huge amounts of MOF, maybe not this material, but we would like to go with CSI or IMT for this technology transfer, and next 2 to 3 months we will be able to do this in the next course of time. We really thank for the funding agencies such as Department of Science and Technology or Science and Technology Park in Pune. We were also been assigned 1 crore of financial aid by Niti Aayog for this work, and when this disbursement will happen, I will be able to pay money to CSR IMMT. So I really thank for the collaborations with the CSR IMMT, and we are really looking forward for strengthening the more projects to work out with CRTDH IMMT. I really thank you for giving me this opportunity for HariSi Private Limited to showcase our product. Thanks a lot.